captains take their place in the centre circle. Tom Pope for the Vale, and for the home side, Josh Coulson, the captain, wearing the number 6. As you can just see, there is a bit of breeze at pitch side. You can see the shirts rippling in the shorts as the breeze cuts through down at pitch level. But Leyton Orient, 5 at the back, little nervy, promoted from the National League last season as champions. They haven't won here since the opening day of the season, and they'll be desperate just to sort of steady their nerves and the ship a little bit as Vale just have a little huddle on the edge of the centre circle away to the left. But I mean, it was tragic really, Phil Sprouse, wasn't it? The death of Justin Edinburgh, who died aged just 49 in June, 5 days after suffering a cardiac arrest. It was at the gym, went to the gym, suffered a cardiac arrest, died 5 days later, just a month after guiding Leyton Orient to the National League title. And I think that still probably rocked the football club and the team.
It must have done. You know, he was such a strong figure and got the side up, and it must have hit the players, not much the supporters, but the players especially, like a thunderbolt. And I don't think quite they've recovered from that, and the fact that, you know, they've got an inexperienced manager in charge they've not been able to kick on and establish themselves as a league side again. And I think they have stuttered, and they're probably suffering the hangover of having obviously Justin's death. But let's hope this afternoon it continues one more time, and then they can pull themselves round after today.
Vale attacking the goal to our right from our elevated position here, and Nathan Smith just strokes the ball back to Scott Brown, who's put under immediate pressure. Good running out by the Leyton Orient attack as the ball is cleared to this near side. David Worrell unable to keep it in. Stretching though, he made the effort down below as we have to get to the edge of... We're on bar stools essentially here, Phil Sprouse, aren't we? And hanging right over the touchline and the dugouts down below. John Askey's to the left of us. The Leyton Orient dugout just down below where the throw-in has just now been taken in front of, and back it goes for another Leyton Orient throw. But certainly one of the better commentary positions that you get in League Two.
Well, you certainly wouldn't find a higher one. I mean, we all perched right like a couple of canaries right overlooking the halfway line. Great position to be looking down on the pitch, and you can see the formation, exactly how both sides have set up. Jake Taylor just playing left of Luke Joyce as the holding midfield player, and David Worrell just to the right of Manuel Ike just to the right of him.
Dan Happy just under a bit of pressure here from the Vale. It's his 21st birthday today, Dan Happy, and happy birthday for him. No pun intended there. Well, there was actually. I couldn't resist it. Throw in for the Vale as Happy puts it out of play. 21 years of age, starting as one of 3 centre halves. As James Gibbons goes to collect the ball. It's level with the edge of the Leyton Orient penalty area. We've played 2 minutes on the clock here on BBC Radio Stoke as Gibbons delivers a cross. It's a good one as well. Headed away in the 6-yard box by Leyton Orient to this near side, and then flicked forward once more. And Vale just keeping the pressure on here, but that's well marshalled at the back by George Marsh, and it's out for a goal kick for Leyton Orient. 0-0.
Yep. Good ball in from James Gibbons down that right side, supporting Dave Worrell. Good curling ball into the 6-yard box, but well met by the 5. Expita. Is that how to pronounce it?
Expiteta.
Yeah.
I know, it's one of those you do have to get your tongue around that one. Typical. As Vale win it back. Manuel Ike on the halfway line. Vale in the black and gold away kit as it goes over the top and runs through to the goalkeeper Dean Brill in green, and they bright sort of orangey pink boots that he's got on as he clears off the edge of his 18-yard box, and long headed away by Leon Legg, picked up on the far side by Ling for Leyton Orient. 0-0 the scoreline on BBC Radio Stoke. You see the tops of the roofs of the terraced houses in the far distance as the ball comes in. It's a free header at the back post, and it's a goal for Leyton Orient. They have scored with inside the first 4 minutes of the game, and Leyton Orient's Josh Wright pops up at the far post to make it 1-0 to the home side.
Well, sorry Matt, but I was going to say that sloppy defending from Nathan Smith across that far side was never sharp enough to get outside of his box and stop the man. He gave him 2 yards to pull Coulson, the 9, got on his left foot, crossed the ball into the box over Leon Legg's head, and the striker got in between Leon Legg and James Gibbons, and a little cushion header to the right of Scott Brown. That's just uncharacteristic sloppy defending from both Vale central defenders and James Gibbons.
Free header.
Absolute free header. I mean, all three of them were guilty there for me.
Well, so they've got a bit of work to do here, Port Vale. First attack of the game for Leyton Orient, and that's got the home crowd right behind them, and that's not what John Askey would have wanted at all. So the tails are up of the home team, Leyton Orient. They lead by a goal to nil. James Gibbons with a tackle in between touchline and penalty area on the Vale right, puts it out for a throw-in to Leyton Orient. And it will be taken by Widowson. And Leyton Orient keep possession and move back towards the halfway line. Ekpiteta spins away from Oyaliki, just inside the Vale half. Then a crossfield ball is picked out by Marsh, and that's a nice touch. And they're in again here, Leyton Orient. Diving header and a ball across the 6-yard box, cleared away by the Vale. Scrambled. Leyton Orient really starting to cause some trouble for Vale just on that Vale left, with some early balls into the box. And here come the home side yet again. Wilkinson to Widowson, now to Dennis, and the flag is up on the far side as the ball was played in for an offside, and Vale will have a chance here just to settle the nerves. They need to just get control of the ball for a little while.
Well, if ever the side has got impetus and belief in themselves, it's Orient at the moment. They've certainly taken the game to the Vale, and Vale just haven't woke up at the moment. And there's certainly that ball that came in again from the right hand side. Leon Legg did well to almost backheel it out of the way on his 6-yard box. But Vale have got to pick themselves up, especially at the back, and get a bit sharper, get tighter.
Long way to go in this game yet. Vale trailing by a goal to nil. Josh Wright in the 4th minute of the match with a free header at the far post. This time Vale are coming forward. Pope's lurking 6 yards out, cleared by the goal scorer Wright up towards the centre circle. Little flick round the corner from Dennis, who then thought, well, you know what, he picks out Wilkinson, who saw Brown just off his line, and he was an ambitious shot from the halfway line from Connor Wilkinson, but Scott Brown was going to always be first to that. He clears now off the deck forward up towards Pope, who's battling away with Coulson. Coulson wins it this time. It drops down on the halfway line. Gibbons flicks it back inside with his head. Coulson comes to meet it goes forward. Vale have won it back with Crooks to Joyce, slip of the centre circle. Now with Legg, things just calming down a little bit from a Vale point of view. Widowson tries to leap and pick the ball out the air, but mistimes his jump with Worrell around the back of him, whips in the cross. Pope was lurking as well, but out came the goalkeeper Brill 6 yards out to gather the danger.
That's better for the Vale. Leon Legg on the right hand side of the defence. Good ball out over the left back of Orient to David Worrell. One touch from Worrell, got it out of his feet. One thought, whipped the ball in looking for Tom Pope, but the keeper came out bravely.
And Leggs mistimed his jump, and Smith's had to come across and get him out of trouble there. Strokes the ball out for a throw into Leyton Orient midway inside the Vale half, down the Vale right, and Orient take the throw quickly. Widowson back to Wright, to Widowson, Wright once more. Vale pegging the home side back into their own half. Coulson takes the touch and moves in towards the centre circle. 20-yard pass centrally to Wilkinson. Vale trying to keep their shape here.
Yeah, Coulson's going deep. The 9 for Orient is dropping very deep, and neither Legg or Smith are either going with him. I don't know if they're instructing Joyce that he's making his way through, so pass him on, but he's certainly got acres and acres of room at the moment. Stevenage 1, Cambridge 0, Middlesbrough 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. The latest scores coming through as Pope just has a little bit of a battle with Coulson, and Ekpiteta's had to slide that clear for a Vale corner, and that's good pressing by Tom Pope. He gets some criticism in the team for all he is get the ball long and he'll try and head it on, but he put a bit of shift in there. And what we're seeing down below, Mani Oyaliki, is he injured? It looks like the train is coming on to Mani Oyaliki, so he's back in the side today. He's taking off the tape around both ankles. That looks like perhaps that's the end of his game, doesn't it, Phil? It does, yeah. It looks as though he's done. The physio's just customary put his hands across his throat, which indicate that the player's done. Manny's taken his tape off his shin pads and was making his way off the pitch. Well, that's very disappointing for Mani Oyaliki, the Vale supporters, and John Askey as well. Cheltenham 1, Crewe 0, scoreline just coming in as well, so a poor start to that game at Wadden Road for the Alex, and we're going to see a change as Mani Oyaliki comes off, just hobbling
towards this near touchline, and it's going to be Scott Burgess.
Well, I was going to say, I would think that Scott Burgess from the other evening, he'd be the only candidate that I would look to bring on. Got super energy the other night, the youngster, and let's hope that he can repeat that this afternoon. But going back to that ball in at Tom Pope that made the young Orient defender panic, I think that's why Tom is in the side this afternoon. Those two central defenders do look iffy to me for Orient, and if we're going to get joy inside the box, that's what we've got to do, put balls in those box and let Pope compete.
In comes the corner, then can Vale make a quick response, flicked in, and it's Leon Legg meant to meet it, and it's just taken away off his head, but back out to Worrell on the left. Cross comes in once more. Now Pope's there with a header, this time being held off by Ekpiteta, and Pope appealing to the referee that maybe there was a little bit too much physicality from the Leyton Orient defender as the ball goes out for a goal kick. But that wasn't bad football by the Vale. They put some real pressure on the home side.
Well, two great crosses from Worrell there. One straight into the box that Legg almost threw himself at, was well cleared by Coulson, and then out to Worrell again on his left foot, cut inside on his left foot, looking for Pope 6 yards out, but Coulson, the big number 6, was brave enough to get his head on it and stop the danger.
Goal kick taken, and it goes long, and Leyton Orient have possession. Ball over the top looking for Dennis's runners. He just turned and tried to spin away from Leon Legg on the edge of the 18-yard area, and Vale can't get away with it, get the ball away. They're not dealing with this at all. Cross comes in, Joyce is there to meet it, gets it away out towards the Vale left touchline, and Moo brings it under control, and then it's cleared by Crooks. Straight to Marsh. Marsh has nowhere to go, so back into the centre circle, and Leyton Orient decide to take the safety route back to the goalkeeper Brill, and he will clear as the ball rolls towards him in the 6-yard line. Ball up in the air, and Moo meets it, looking for Pope. Pope can't get there ahead of Coulson. Vale chasing the ball at the moment with Worrell. Ball in towards the Vale half, Legg underneath it, and that didn't look like a proper challenge from Dennis as Legg bun the ball in the air. No free kick though, says the referee, as Vale have got possession. Here's Taylor, back to Brown, fizzing the ball into his feet, 6 yards out. Brown clears as he moves it out onto his right foot, looking for Worrell. Worrell lets the ball drop over his shoulder, and he gives chase now here. As he want to throw in, he hasn't, as he goes crashing into the woods, the advertising hoardings, and the ball boy just down next to him, and also the steward as well, I think, has taken a knot, and his phone goes flying out of his pocket. I hope he hasn't got a cracked screen there, or we'll be sending David Worrell a repair bill. He's having a good look at his screen now just to make sure that there are no cracks. I think he's a bit concerned, the steward.
He was actually. It was a massive challenge from the Orient centre-back, the 21-year-old, that Happy, your mate Happy, crashed into Dave Worrell, crashed into the steward.
Wilkinson flicks the ball on. That's the voice of Phil Sproson with you on BBC Radio Stoke Sport this afternoon. 500 appearances for Port Vale, 426 league appearances, 41 goals, 33 league goals. Second most appearances for Port Vale behind his uncle Roy, and he's with you in the commentary box this afternoon on 94.6 FM BBC Radio Stoke. Here's Widdowson. Vale trailing by a goal to nil still this afternoon. Crew trailing by a goal to nil at Cheltenham. Not a good start for our local sides, and Moo putting some pressure here on the back four of Leyton Orient, but the home side get it clear. Anywhere will do in that sort of situation, and now Taylor's trying to cause some problems on the halfway line. This is good well, he had every right to go for that ball. I thought Marsh was trying to shield it as he was down on the ground, and Taylor just swinging his leg in at it. The referee took a bit of exception to it, but what's he supposed to do in that instance?
Well, he's got to go for the ball. I mean, it was there to be won, and Taylor did put his foot in, and the referee judged a foul.
On the halfway line, the free kick's taken by Ekpiteta. Switched out to the left to Widdowson, who doesn't win the ball in the air against Gibbons. You can see that that's a ploy by the temporary manager Ross Embleton for Leyton Orient, that they can see that if they can get the ball out towards the Vale right, Gibbons has got a significant height disadvantage over Joe Widdowson, and they're trying that tactic quite a lot in the opening 13 minutes of the match. Leyton Orient leading by a goal to nil. Legg along the ground to Burgess, who came on in the 9th minute for Manny Oyaliki, who hobbled off. We'll find out the extent of that. That was a clear handball by Happy.
And that's got to be a booking. The referee's not going to give it. I don't think he's got any intention of giving it, but nice little ball dinked in by Leon Legg to Tom Pope. Tom tried to just turn it round the corner for Dave Worrell, and a clear handball by the central defender, but the referee's not given well, give the free kick, but not booked him.
Yeah, it should be a yellow card because he had no intention of getting his arms out of the way. In fact, he put his arms deliberately in the way to stop that ball going forward.
Well, Worrell would have been away, that's for certain.
Worrell ball into the box for Amu. Amu tries to drag it back along the 6-yard line, but his cross is blocked by Widdowson, and it's another corner for Port Vale. They've had 2, Leyton Orient have had 0, but it is Leyton Orient that lead by a goal to 0. And really, you've got to say, Leyton Orient haven't had another chance really in the Vale penalty area, apart from that one chance that Josh Wright found himself unmarked in the 4th minute for a free header at the far post. Worrell delivers the corner. Legg tries to come and meet it. Oh, it just bounces away from Smith at the far post, but he keeps it alive with a good cross towards the back post. Picked up by Worrell again. What can he do here? Clip ball into the box. Pope meets it, and he looks up at the skies because he knows he should have put that in the back of the net. It's gone wide, and he sat down in the 6-yard box. Can't quite believe it. Should be 1-1.
It should be 1-1. Orient are all over the place at the moment. 2 great opportunities there. Nathan Smith almost threw himself at it, just couldn't. He needs to be about 6'1", Nathan, and he probably would have powered it in, but just drifted over his head. He actually recovered quite well and dinked the ball in with his left foot from the left-hand side of the penalty box. Pope just couldn't getting enough on it, but really we should be back in this game. You can see why Orient are struggling. I mean, they're all at sea at the back. The big 6, the Coulson is the one that's the glue that hold them together. The 2 youngsters either side of him are poor.
Has the early loss of Mani Oyeleke rattled them a little bit? It doesn't appear to have done.
No, sometimes like that, Burdish has come in the side. I mean, he played ever so well the other night. Maybe that, it might do the Vale a favour with Burgess's energy in there.
Burgess on the ball now, just down below us on the halfway line, and just runs into traffic, and then Wilkinson goes down under a challenge and wins a free kick 5 yards inside the Vale half on the Leyton Orient left. Salford 0, Forest Green Rovers 2, a latest score. Here's the goal scorer Wright looking to take the free kick, but then decides to leave it for Dan Happy.
Wright is about 6'2", and you're correct in your analysis that he is looking to play on Gibbons all the time. They are looking for that diagonal. There's a massive height advantage there.
Ball into the box from the free kick. Nobody there for Leyton Orient, so it's a free header for Crooks, who gets it in towards a central position and finds Burgess, I think it was. No, it might have been Taylor who flicked that ball on. As Amu gives chase. Back towards, though, the Leyton Orient goalkeeper, Brill. The Leyton Orient defence. Taylor battling. Vale hunting numbers and win the ball back. Legg now finds Gibbons in space on the right. Still inside the Port Vale half. Now into a central position near the centre circle to Joyce. 2 in front of him, so he goes out to the right to Worrell, who's hugging the touchline. He's got nowhere to go, so back to Joyce. Worrell makes a run. Joyce clips one over the top. Almost picks out Worrell, but the ball put out by Happy for a Port Vale throw-in just down below us again. Almost 18 yards out from the Leyton Orient goal. Quick throw from Gibbons to Worrell. Worrell back to Gibbons. Infield now to Burgess, to Gibbons on his left foot. Is he going to pull the trigger? He does shoot, and that's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper Brill, but nice movement on and off the ball by Port Vale and resulting in a shot on target, Phil Sproson.
Yeah, good play from James Gibbons there, looking to play into Burgess's feet. Got the return from him, the edge of the area. Left foot curling shot by Gibbons. Never really going to trouble the keeper, straight down his throat. Easy catch, but enterprising. Good work from the Vale. Not keeping the ball a lot better now.
Gibbons. 1-0 to Leyton Orient here on BBC Radio Stoke. Gibbons flicks the ball forward and it just drops and spins and bounces. Pope gives chase. And then Happy absolutely hammers it out of play. He's only a yard from the touchline, but he smacked at it to the roof of the stand in which we are. And that takes some doing, because it's a big old stand, the West Stand at Brisbane Road.
Well, that'll give Vale players some confidence to see him do that. I do think the 2 central defenders playing between Coulson, either side of Coulson, are poor.
Pope and Burgess linking up nicely, and Burgess just wanted a little bit longer. The first touch got away from him, and it allowed Leyton Orient to take it off his toes and clear. Ekpiteta puts a long ball out towards the left, and it goes straight out of play.
I think these 2, Ekpiteta and Hap, the 5 and the 15, are vulnerable.
Crooks getting the clearance in, and he had to ride a challenge there from Marsh, who just left a bit of a leg in, but Crooks didn't make anything of it and tries to get the ball clear. But him and Joyce make a little bit of a meal of it, and Leyton Orient come forward in towards the penalty area, and the cross comes shot, goes into the side netting, and it's a goal kick for Port Vale, to a ripple of applause from the Leyton Orient supporters behind Scott Brown's goal. Vale trailing by 1-0 here on BBC Radio Stoke. Bournemouth 1, West Ham United 1 is the latest score here. It's a close day, a few clouds above us, and it's rather humid. It's not cold at all. The Vale supporters over on the far side, many of which in Vale colours, sitting on a little bit more nervously now than they were when they first kicked off. Worrell with a cross on the right, looking for a move down the middle. Good block by Leyton Orient, and the ball goes out for another Vale corner. Corner number 3 to Port Vale. Can they make this pressure count? Yeah,
it's excellent work again by Dave Worrell and Tom Pope, combining well and stretched the back 3 really well. Both central defenders, well, the two this left hand side, had to come out to engage Worrell, and that left him move one-on-one. Coulson just gives the corner away to the Vale. That's good work from the Vale.
Palace are 1-0 up at home to Norwich. Worrell waiting to take this corner. There are 5 Vale players on the edge of the 18-yard box. A move in front of the goalkeeper. In comes the corner now. A move flicks ahead at it. It goes past him. Leon Legg races to the far side of the penalty area to try and keep the ball alive. Cross comes in, cleared by Leyton Orient. Taylor helps it along, wins the ball in the air again, does well, finds some space out on the right, but the ball just too far in front of Worrell, and he apologises for it, and Worrell turns away just to keep the motivation going with the rest of his teammates. As Vale trailing by 1-0 here. 20 minutes have gone. Middlesbrough 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Widdowson comes across this near touchline, level with the edge of his own penalty area, to take the throw in for Leyton Orient. Throw from the fullback down the line. Joyce intercepts towards the Leyton Orient half, but then there's an awful ball back which had to be cleared. A sliding challenge by Paqueta as it's played back by the Vale, and Pope's battling in the air for it. Leyton Orient are under the cosh here. Vale just need to be just a little bit more clinical in that final third, and you would say that there is definitely a goal coming for Port Vale, Phil Sprouse.
Yeah, they're vulnerable at the back. There's no two ways about that. You can see that they're at panic stations every time the ball goes anywhere near the penalty spot. It's anywhere will do for them. It's a matter if we can just get hold of the ball and start to play our football, really.
A move on the far side to Crooks, 10 yards in from the far touchline inside the Leyton Orient half. Now back to Joyce, who's just come in from the centre circle. Now moves out to that far side again, finds Crooks. This is good football by the Vale, and nice feet from Taylor. He's got away from his man, the goal scorer right. He's on the edge of the penalty area, trying to feed in Burgess, but the ball again just a little too far ahead of him, and that's an easy gather for Brill, who bowls it out quickly underarm. Worrell spots the danger and chases Marsh to the halfway line, and then Gibbons puts in the block on Widdowson to put it out for a throw into Leyton Orient just inside their own half. 1-0 the home side lead on BBC Radio Stoke. Matt Sandoz and Phil Sprouse and your commentary team here, high up in the gods of Brisbane Road, where we can see across all the rooftops of the houses, the chimneys as well. Back in the days when this would have been a city where you could have probably fires that have been filled with smoke around here. Not anymore.
So we didn't see any pie and eel shop.
We didn't.
No, we're looking for one, but we didn't see one.
We did. We were looking for one just to pull our faces out and say, no, we're not going in there. Well, just a sandwich will do us.
That's right.
We're not that adventurous. Leon Legg back to Brown. Brown clears first time. It bounces into the centre circle. Burgess chests it down and brings it under control to find Crooks. Crooks now in field to Taylor, who switches it out delightfully to Worrell, who takes a touch and then comes inside, and he got past Happy brings him down, and Gibbons takes the shot. It's saved by the goalkeeper, comes back out, deflected in, and the shot from Burgess, the substitute, gets the Vale fans off their feet on the far side. Leyton Orient are down on their knees. Vale are celebrating. Could be the turning point of the game, this one, because it's been coming for the Vale. It is now Leyton Orient 1, Port Vale 1.
Yeah, super work from the Vale. Great work there from Jake Taylor. Turned on a sixpence on the halfway line, sprayed it out wide, stretched the left back straight to Dave Worrell. Dave Worrell whipped the ball in, and keeper made a bit of a hash of it, parried the ball out about 6-7 yards out, and there was Burgess, smashed it into the middle of the goals. No more than what Vale deserve. I do think Vale get more and more into this game and start to get a grip of the midfield, which Taylor and Burgess will do. They seem to work well, and Joyce as the hold and let these two youngsters dictate the game. This game's here for the winning. It's just a matter of being tight at the back. Unusually for the Vale, it's Nathan and Legg have just got to get tighter to the Connor Wilkinson, the striker, for me.
Well, the Vale fans enjoying it now. They're up on their feet, urging the team to come on. They can smell blood, because Leyton Orient, I think, will be rattled if they can get in at them again once more. Brill comes out, watches that one run as the crossfield ball comes in from the Vale left. It's out for a goal kick. But you have to say as well, credit to the referee, because Worrell was floored by Happy as he got into the penalty area, and the referee allowed play to continue, which resulted in Vale getting an equaliser.
Yeah, it was a definite foul. I mean, he's lucky he's not been booked, and that was another booking there. He just flattened Dave Worrell as that cross came in. But thankfully, the referee allowed play on, our advantage. And Vale are in front. Vale draw level.
They could well be in front soon. The way that they're playing, Leyton Orient really second best since their shot goal in the 4th minute. Crooks with it, clears high up in the air, central position. Pope challenges Coulson. Coulson wins it. It bounces inside the centre circle. Picked up by Wilkinson. Out to the left of Widdowson. Widdowson with a bit of time and space in front of him here. Thinks about taking on Gibbons, but then just leaves it out to the left for Dennis, who now comes to the angle of the penalty area. Back to Marsh. And he tries, I don't know what that was. Was that a cross or a shot? Whatever it was hopeless, and it's out for a Vale goal kick.
He got caught between two minds there. The 21, Marsh, picked the ball up and tried to pick out the right winger, and got caught out there, overhit. Goal kick to the Vale. Vale just get hold of it now in midfield, get it on the deck, start to play your 1-2s, and get through these. There's goals here for the Vale this afternoon. There's a win in the air. I can feel it. Yeah,
I can too as well. Amu getting in behind on the far side. He's up against Ekpiteta, and he's got past him. Crooks infield to Pope, edge of the penalty area, back to goal. Needs some support. Nice little reverse ball for Amu, but it's taken away from him. One back by Legg in the centre circle. Gibbons puts in a cross. That's a good ball as well, and it had to be cleared, and it's headed away up to the top of the stand behind the Leyton Orient goal for another Vale corner. Corner number 4. Leyton Orient haven't had a single corner yet, and Vale starting to get a stranglehold in this game.
Yeah, they are slowly turning the screw. Good work from Leon Legg. Intelligent ball, got in front of Connor Wilkinson. Played James Gibbons in. Good cross from Gibbons again, looking for Pope. Corner to the Vale.
Worrell just chips it in, and it goes to the back post. Can Pope bundle it in at the far post? He can't. Leon Legg is there as well, and you have to say that's good defending, because there was a red shirt, I think it was Ekpiteta, throwing his body in front of the shot, and that's come off it and out for another corner.
Well, that's the best thing that young man's done this afternoon for his team, because that was Tom Pope there was about 3 yards out and just about to blast it in, and a great block from the Orient centre back saves his team. Corner to Vale.
And it comes in swinger, and it's gone towards the back post, and Leon Legg taps it home. 6 yards out. You knew it was coming. Vale have turned the game around. They were 1-0 down in the 4th minute, and now in the 28th minute of the match they are 2-1 up. Vale fans on their feet again, and Leon Legg gets his first goal of the season. Could Vale be on course for their first away league win since March the 30th? It's Leyton Orient 1, Port Vale 2.
Orient can't cope at the back. They're all at sea. The 3 central, Coulson, the oldest one, who plays the 6 in the middle. He's got his hands full trying to grapple with Tom Pope, but the other two, dearie me, they're like school children out there. They really are. They just cannot cope with the pressure that Vale are putting them under. And the 6s and 7s trying to clear it. Couldn't clear the first ball into the box. Leon Legg totally unmarked. 6 yards out. Easy goal for Big Leon.
6s and 7s, it could be 3s and 4s for Vale this afternoon if they carry on like this.
Well, they get the bit between the teeth, get the ball on the floor, start your little triangle passing, get David Amu away, get Dave Worrell down this side, and Vale could run away with this.
A couple of other scores to tell you about elsewhere today. Rochdale 0, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Crawley 0, Walsall 2. Sunderland 1, MK Dons 0. Middlesbrough 1, Sheffield Wednesday 3. And Huddersfield 1, Millwall 0. Not a good scoreline for Stoke City fans, that one. Huddersfield coming to the Bet365 Stadium on Tuesday night.
Well, these are the games that you're playing where you can actually sense. It's like the old boxing tradition when a boxer's on the ropes, he's taking a couple of heavy hits, and that's what Orient have done. Now you've got to go in for the kill and get yourself a couple of goals clear of them, because these are rocking on the ropes here.
Throw in for Vale, level with the edge of the Leyton Orient penalty area. Gibbons on the right takes it, comes back at him quickly but can't control, and Leyton Orient have a throw. Leyton Orient don't know really what's hit them in this last 20 minutes or so. They took the lead through Josh Wright in the 4th minute. Scott Burgess equalised in the 24th minute, then Leon Legg 4 minutes later putting the Vale in front. 2-1 they lead on BBC Radio Stoke. Ball over the top for Pope, and he doesn't win it in the air this time, nor does Luke Joyce as it comes towards a central position. It drops down for him, and it's now Crooks that got it. Amu on the far side. You can hear when Amu gets the ball from the Vale fans. He's just in front of them now on the far touchline. Back to Crooks. In field from Crooks, looking for the run of Amu. Amu maybe should have just carried on his run a little bit there. I think Amu turned around in frustration, but I think Adam Crooks did the right thing there.
He did the right thing. I mean, Amu gave him the ball, and Crooks tried to pick him out on his run, but Amu stopped still.
Sunderland 2-0 up now at home to MK Dons. Peterborough 1, Wimbledon 0, and Oxford 2, Gillingham 0, as Leyton Orient will clear. And just coming over the blind side of Coulson was Tom Pope. Coulson probably didn't see him, but plays the ball back to his goalkeeper. There's just enough on it for it to find Brill, and he scrambles it away ahead of the on-charging Tom Pope. Throw in for Vale down below us, maybe 15 or 20 yards or so inside the Leyton Orient half. Gibbons with the ball in his hands at the moment. 2-1 up the Vale are, having been 1-0 down in the 4th minute. Gibbons waiting for some sort of option. Burgess coming across. Worrell gets in front of his man and comes short. Back to Gibbons. Gibbons' first time ball towards the D of the Leyton Orient penalty area. Cleared by Coulson. It drops down in Legg. Watches the ball bounce up in the air. Heads it back to Scott Brown, who's in the sunshine. The stand in which we are is the West Stand, the tallest of the 4 at Brisbane Road, and it's casting a shadow across half of the pitch.
Well, that's better from the Vale. Good passing, good work there from Crooks, waiting for Joyce to join him.
Pope challenging again with Coulson. Coulson wins it, but Pope gets the second ball from the knockdown and plays it in field. It wasn't meant for Gibbons. It came off his shins, and Gibbons almost carried the ball with him. It ricochets into the path of a Leyton Orient defender who gets it away. Salford 0, Forest Green Rovers 3 in League 2. Crooks. The ball just blocked as it was looking for a move. Back to Smith, across the back to Legg. Legg looks up, diagonal ball down the centre, looking for the run of Amu. Will it find him? No, but headed away by Ekpiteta, and the flag is up as the ball came back to Tom Pope, who'd put the ball in the back of the net for an offside decision on David Amu. We've got 13 minutes to go until the break, but other than the Leyton Orient goal in the 4th minute, this has been all Port Vale, Phil Sproson.
Yeah, it has. I mean, we gave them a goal start. I mean, both our central defenders and James Gibbons were static for their goal, and we almost repeated the problems straight after that caused us problems. But since then, it's just been one-way traffic, and it was only a matter of time, under the pressure that Orient have come on, that we were going to score. And clearly, we're 2-1 up at the moment. We could be out of sight at the moment, but I'll settle for being in front.
Totally. Aston Villa 1-0 up at home to Burnley. Leyton Orient in possession inside the centre circle. We went down to pitch level before the match, and the pitch did look superb actually. A little video on social media at Matt Sandoz one of me and Phil doing a little bit of a dance to the carnival band that we're here earlier.
I think we should post that to whoever you have to post it to.
Strictly,
yeah.
For our nomination.
I think there'll be a nomination.
We'll be there. Throw in for Leyton Orient. Long throw in towards the Vale penalty area. Cleared away by David Amu. Picked up by a red shirt on the edge of the centre circle. Finding Widdowson out on the Orient left. He finds Dennis. Back to Widdowson. Gibbons goes in with a thundering challenge and puts it out for a throw in 10 yards from the corner flag. Throw in taken quickly for Dan Happy. George Marsh now has it. Ekpiteta Vale just getting bodies behind the ball here, simply allowing Leyton Orient to have it on the halfway line. Ball played forward now. Gibbons heads it to Worrell. How is your cha-cha-cha, Phil Sproson?
Not that good, I don't think. Not with my knees these days.
About as good as my Charleston, I guess. Tom Pope puts in a challenge. You could probably pick that sound up on our effects mics. It was right down below us, but he doesn't win anything from it, and he throws his arms in frustration at the officials because he felt that he'd cannoned that ball into Widdowson and won a throw-in, but it goes the way of the red shirts of Leyton Orient, and Dennis goes down, has a little look at Gibbons. The two of them square up to one another off the ball. The referee doesn't spot it. We'll keep an eye on that one because Dennis clearly took some exception to the challenge from Gibbons. The ball played back. Ekpiteta has missed it. Or it hasn't. It's come off his chest and spun away from him. Pope brings him down, and I tell you what, Ekpiteta, he looks like a rabbit in the headlights.
He does. He looks like somebody who's got a hold of 2 hand grenades in his shorts because they're going to go off at any minute. I mean, he just looks so nervous when anything comes to his feet. And the poor lad is just happy to hack it anywhere. I mean, David Amu and Tom Pope got on into him like two piranhas there.
Just keep closing him down there. He's just giving the ball away there. He's feeling the pressure. Marvin Ekpiteta is having a real torrid afternoon. David Worrell on the right, looks up, puts in the cross towards Ekpiteta and Pope. Pope wins it in the air, but it drops down for Coulson, who clears it. Picked up by Taylor on his right foot. Back out to the right to Worrell, keeping the ball moving, stretching Leyton Orient. Worrell with the cross with his left foot, not a good one. Doesn't beat the first man, which was Happy. Worrell again sees the run of Joyce. Joyce won't get there, I don't think. He hasn't got quite the legs to get on the end of that ball, but Josh Wright does, and it will be cleared by Happy for Leyton Orient.
A good midfield play again by Taylor and Burgess, combining well, causing problems, getting the ball out to James Gibbons. James actually just making the wrong decision there to put Luke Joyce in. He's never going to win that ball. He's got the legs, as you said, to get there, but Adam Crooks was directly opposite him. James should have got his chin up, had a look up, spray it wide and stretch Orient and get Crooks away down that left hand side, as him and David Amu are one-on-one with the Orient midfield player. But, James, the blinkers on, trying to play everything down the right hand side.
Tom Pope nipping in on some sloppy defending by Leyton Orient, but they recover and it goes back to Brill, away to our right. Leyton Orient attacking from right to left as we look at it from this main west stand here at Brisbane Road. Amu shielding the ball. Ekpiteta with him for company, but doesn't get anywhere near him. Taylor with a lovely ball. It was on a sixpence to the feet of David Worrell on this near side. Gibbons drills in a shot. Oh, what a shot and strike that is by James Gibbons. The ball, we were right behind that, Phil Sproson, swerving all the way. It looked like it was going wide for a minute, but at the last minute took in a real swerve towards the far post and just drifted wide of the goalkeeper's right hand upright. What a strike that was by the right back.
Yeah, super hit by James Gibbons down his right boot, about 25 yards out, hit it and it swerved so close to the post. But again, superb play in midfield between Burgess and Taylor. Taylor on the ball, centre of midfield, absolutely sprayed the ball wide again over the back of this left back to Worrell, inch perfect, causing, just dominating the midfield at the moment, the Vale are. I'd just be happy if we could just give it their back three all the time, because they'll give it us.
Yeah, they might as well go get some black and gold shirts on. Blackburn 1, Luton 1, Shrewsbury 0, Fleetwood 1, and Preston 0, Bristol City 2, Morecambe 0, Northampton 2 latest scores. Here's Joyce out to right to Worrell, who's seen a lot of the ball in this first half. I think Amu might be offside when the ball comes to him. He is.
He drifted just beyond the front three. And, Burgess was the option for Dave Worrell there, but Amu had just strayed beyond the back three.
Tottenham 1, Southampton 1, Swindon 0, Newport County 1. We'll have all the half-time scores for you during the interval, with Lee Blakeman at Wadden Road, where Crewe are trailing by a goal to nil. Brill with the free kick from that David Amu offside decision. Smith heads it away, 20 yards out from his own goal. Flicked on by Burgess. Scorer of Vale's equaliser this afternoon. He's fouled as the ball is come off the top of his head, and it's a free kick for Port Vale.
Absolutely clattered there by an Orient midfield player, straight into the back of him. So Scott Brown will take it, about 10 yards outside his area.
Brown with the high ball, Pope battling with Ekpiteta, and Ekpiteta clears. Pope was trying to chase the clearance and couldn't quite bring it under control, so it's once more smashed away by the home defence. Gibbons picks it up, finds Joyce. Joyce then fires the ball forward for Worrell, and it was too strong for David Worrell to get on the end of, and well, Phil Sproson, he spotted the space again over on the opposite side of the field.
James Gibbons and Joyce both got heavily blinkered down this right hand side. They're so concerned with getting the ball down to each other. They've got to get the heads up and look, because Crooks and Amu, we've got acres of space down that left hand side. Switch to play.
Smith wins the ball in the air, flicked up by Taylor, drops down on the halfway line, played forward by Happy. Smith's just going to have to just mop up here at the back, and well, he almost made a little bit of a mess of it, but fortunately for him, it came back towards him, and he got a second bite at the cherry, and he cleared up towards Tom Pope, who's released Amu on the far touchline. He's in a foot race with Ekpiteta. He should get past him. Ekpiteta's stood with him, shoulder for shoulder, cleared it, and Vale have won their 6th corner of the match. 6 corners to 0 in favour of the Vale here.
Yeah, good pace by David Amu down the our left wing. Next, Ekpiteta came across the big central defender, stayed with him, credit to him. Toe poked it out for a corner for Vale. Worrell will take it.
Vale causing all sorts of problems from set pieces this afternoon for Leyton Orient as the ball comes in Swinger. Underneath it is Smith. It's come off the head of Ekpiteta. It went backwards and cleared by a red shirt back out to Worrell on the far touchline in front of the Vale supporters. Can he find a cross here? He doesn't. He finds Taylor, who just come across to help him and support him in such a tight area of the pitch at the moment. They're working it clear. Joyce now involved to Worrell again on the far side. A leg sticks out from the full-back. Ling gets it clear, but Amu picks up the ball yet again. 2 around him, goes down, lands on the ball, wins a free kick. And well, he's in some discomfort there, because I don't know whether he had a kick to the chest, but he's up quickly. And here the Vale have another chance. Yeah,
they're struggling when Amu gets the ball down that side. A little bit of trickery, and they foul him straight away, right in front of the Vale fans. Well, Dave Worrell will take it again, right foot swinger, looking for that 6-shot, that danger, the corridor of uncertainty for the keeper.
In it comes. Floated in, leg, had all the time in the world. Don't know what he was doing there. The ball dropped down, maybe he saw it late, I'm not so sure, but he had space as the ball came towards him, and he kind of just turned his body 45 degrees came off him and out for a goal kick. I think it
was David Amu that went straight in front of him and virtually just blocked him off, and it looked poor from up here, but I could just see that Amu went in front of Leon.
Coventry 0, Doncaster Rovers 1. Crawley 1, Walsall 2, Ipswich 1, Tranmere 1, as Gibbons has the ball. Goes forward into the centre circle, looks up, sees the run of Amu. Good pass from Gibbons, bounces, controlled by Amu, by the corner flag, but brushed off a little bit too easily that by Ekpiteta. He finds Dennis. Wilkinson, I beg your pardon, who picks out Widdowson. Good crunching challenge by Joyce. Sees the ball come off Widdowson and out for a Vale throw-in on this near side. I don't think John Askey can have too many complaints over this first 45 minutes. We've got 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes to go, plus time added on. But I think he'll be furious at the way that they started the match and left Josh Wright open for an easy header to make it 1-0. But since then, I don't think he can have too many complaints.
No, there's 2 passages of play. One was the goal, and one was about 2 minutes after the goal, where we were all... That was just...
Amu might be in here, but will Coulson recover? He does, just stretch out as Amu was just trying to get him behind 2 centre-backs there, but Coulson stretching and sliding the ball back to the safety of Brill.
Yeah, apart from those 2 episodes of good play from Orient, poor play from us, it's been all Port Vale.
Nathan Smith grappling with Wilkinson, sees Vale concede a free kick about 25 yards out from Scott Brown's goal, left of centre, so opportunity here. They might have a shot at goal. If they could, if they get something here, it would be rather unjust, you'd have to say. 2-1 the Vale lead here at Brisbane Road. Crawley 1, Walsall 3, Hull 1, Cardiff City 0. Back to Wadden Road for the half-time break with Lee Blakeman and the team shortly. Josh Wright over this one. So's Louis Dennis. And the referee, Scott Oldham, in his blue top, black shorts, just puts the vanishing spray line down a yard or two outside the Vale penalty area. Vale just need to just keep the concentration here as we head towards the break. Shot comes in, Brown saves, parries it out, and the ball's still in play. I think Scott Brown probably made that look a little bit harder than it was. It was straight towards him, but had to get gloves to it.
Thought he would have caught that, to be honest. I mean, whipping free kick about waist high. Scott's made a meal of it, but he's pushed it wide, and it's a throw into Orient. Safe enough.
Yeah, Widdowson takes it, and it comes off Dennis and out for a Vale goal kick. So we got 60 seconds of the normal time remaining, plus then any time added on, which won't be a great deal, I don't think. I know Manu Oliki limped off in the 9th minute of the match, so there'll be a little bit for that substitution as the fourth official down below gets his electronic board ready to signify just how long there will be, perhaps about a minute. But Vale leading by 2-1. We're into the last 30 seconds of the first half. Brown with the goal kick on the left of his 6-yard box, out towards Pope on the far touchline, beaten in the air by Ekpiteta. Ball just bouncing and bobbling around the halfway line, and it breaks kindly for Leyton Orient. Their goal scorer Josh Wright on the far side, and just tries to push and run, but there's too many Vale players ahead of him to make any inroads into the Vale half. Ekpiteta brings the ball under control, Pope on his shoulder, turns, gets it clear, flicked on just inside the Vale half by Ling, and Smith is there to help it clear. Taylor sticks out a right boot trying to bring the ball under control, but Leyton Orient have got it in the centre circle now. The fourth official indicating 2 minutes of time added on. We're into that now. We're into that first minute as the ball bounces, and Scott Brown will take his time to gather that ball in and clear it upfield. Chris Porter's equalised for Crewe at Cheltenham. Cheltenham 1, Crewe 1 now. So a good end to the first half, it seems, for the Alex, which we'll be heading to very shortly. We've got just over a minute of time remaining here of the first half as Pope tries to get the ball under control with Coulson on his back, but Coulson clears and Smith goes in for the challenge on the far side, and he was fouled by Wilkinson, and it's a free kick for Port Vale on the far touchline. Less than a minute to go, and Phil Sproson, summary of the first half of things just sort of died down a little bit. I think everybody's waiting for the half-time whistle. Yeah,
Vale have controlled this half. Once they got back into the game and pulled it level, he's certainly taken a stranglehold in midfield. I think the inclusion of Burgess will be unfortunate for Manialike. Has worked in Vale's favour because Burgess and Taylor have combined really well in midfield.
Pope into Omu, goes down in the penalty area. Referee has a look at it, says get up. Vale fans on the far side appealed. Referee was in a good spot there. Could have been some late drama in added time yet again. Vale fans are getting used to that after Mansfield last week. 2 goals in added time, 1 in the first half and 1 in the second half to get a 2-2 draw against Mansfield. Ball over the top now. Can Vale find a third before the break? A move with the cross. It's just too far in front of Tom Pope, and 2 defenders of Leyton Orient get it clear and out in front of the Vale supporters, who are up on their feet on the far side because they're appreciating their team's performance here.
Well, they've done. Taylor's combined well there. Got Crooks in just over the halfway line. Crooks' beautiful ball over the top of the right back. Got David Amu away, and Orient having to scramble clear. But Vale, much the better side, to be fair.
A very good first half, bar the first 4 minutes for Port Vale as they make their way across as the half-time whistle goes in the distance in front of the Vale supporters, who they make their way for their half-time refreshments, but they'll be chatting about how well their team is playing now. Forget about the first 4 minutes, because that is when Josh Wright had a free header at the far post to make it 1-0. Other events in the first half, Manu Oliki hobbled off in the 9th minute for Scott Burgess. Perhaps good job he did, because Scott Burgess equalised in the 24th minute from around about 7 or 8 yards out, drilling it into the back of the net. Then just 4 minutes later, Leon Legg popping.
Mowbray teams back out here at Whaddon Road. It's time to go our separate ways for commentary. Crewe at Cheltenham on DAB and medium wave, Vale at Orient on FM and Freeview. Both matches live on BBC Radio Stoke.
Greenock's hard drive pushed out to Eastham. Boyle has scored! Steen has opened the scoring. The goal from Dean Ashton. Stoke City are in
is BBC Radio Stoke.
Well, welcome back to Brisbane Road. Leyton Orient out on the pitch waiting for the Vale to come out from the tunnel just down below us, and we can see that they're going to make a change, that Matt Harold is coming on for Leyton Orient, and we had just cast our eye across the pitch, and it seems to me that he's going to come on for Marvin Ekpiteta, who's had a pretty torrid first 45 minutes, Phil Sproson.
Yeah, he has. Nobody likes to see a young professional struggle like that, but struggle he clearly has for Orient, and Vale took advantage of it, and no surprise that Orient have had to make the change and take the young man off and put another, it seems as though a young man as well that's gone on, Harold, but not quite sure where he's gone at the moment and what formation they're playing. I think they might have gone to a back four rather than three at the back to try and cope with what Vale have thrown at them.
Yeah, Harold's making his way out to the far touchline on the left, and Vale are out on the pitch here to the cheers of "Come on Vale" from the Vale supporters over on the far side in the east stand. Now, I was told that this used to be a dog racing track, and that is the old original stand, and that's why the Leyton Orient section, which looks almost like a garage bolted onto the top end of the stand, that's slightly to the left, not in the centre. To the right there, as you can see, a darker colour of the corrugated roof, which is an extension to what was the original stand, but that used to have the results where it says Leyton Orient now, the results of the dogs that were coming in here, the scoreboard, the result board of the dogs up there.
Well, I have actually played here over the years, and I think Roy played here as well in a not a semi-final, but I think a second or third round of the FA Cup when they went on to that great win, that great run, and the semi-final. I think they actually played Orient when my dad told me he came on the train like we have today to watch Roy play that night.
30 seconds of the second half. Ball in towards the Vale penalty area. Tom Pope heads it away. Marsh puts it back into the mix. Coulson's there, and Leon Legg could have and should have had a shout from Scott Brown, because there's no one around him. He looks to his goalkeeper and concedes the first corner for the Vale in this match. So Leyton Orient starting the second half on the front foot.
Well, it's exactly the replica of the first half. The first 2 or 5 minutes that we were fast asleep, and it looked as though we were there. I mean, Leon Legg gave a needless corner away. In comes the corner. It's over the head of Burgess and Wright that were there, and it's cleared by Legg up towards the halfway line, but Wright, the goal scorer for Leyton Orient, has it on this near side. Back it goes to Widdowson under pressure from Worrell, so Widdowson finds his goalkeeper on the 6-yard line, strokes it out to Marsh. Bristol 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Rotherham United 0, and Chelsea 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0. The ball is put out for a Leyton Orient throw right in front of John Askey down below us. Harold, the second half substitute, trying to cause a nuisance of himself, flicks the ball on, and Pope will give chase with Coulson here. Coulson has to slide and see the ball out. Has it been kept in play? I think it has by Ling. Linesman's flag stayed down on this side. Ling fires it into his penalty area, and tell you what, that was some race between Coulson and Tom Pope.
Yeah,
I don't think the stopwatches won't be needed for that one.
I don't think it will it? Not a pay-per-view event, that one. Here's Happy. Forward to the substitute Harold. Bit of space. Looks up, finds Dennis. Back to Happy. Marsh now. Lip of the centre circle inside the Vale half. Flicks it forward to Harold, who takes it down on the chest. Drops for Wilkinson, but it's cleared by Crooks, and then Gibbons gets it away as it comes back his way, hacks it away at it with his left foot, and the ball's safely out for a throw-in over on the far side. 2-1, the Vale lead here on BBC Radio Stoke. Ipswich 2, Tranmere Rovers 1.
Dave Worrell's gone down across that far side right in front of James Gibbons, holding his leg. It looks as though a little bit of concern there. So the Vale don't want to lose another body.
No, Dave Kevin and John Askey in conversation in the technical area down below, as the Vale substitutes are up and out for a run. Southend 0, Accrington Stanley 1. David Worrell receiving some treatment just maybe 10 yards outside the Vale penalty area. But yeah, if you've not been to Leyton Orient before, there's a couple of more modern stands at either end, which to our left is the north, to our right the Tommy Johnson stand. We're in the west, and at the east opposite us, which is where the Vale fans are at the moment. That's the oldest stand of Brisbane Road, and then in all 4 corners of the ground are blocks of flats. residential complexes. The one to the right, Bloomfield Court, after a former manager, Kitchen Court to the left, and then immediately to our left is Scott, and to our right, McFadden Court, named after former soldiers.
It's a nice little ground, this. It's all enclosed, and those houses in each four corners do make it look as though it's a very cosy sort of atmosphere.
There's fans out on the balcony over there opposite us by the Vale supporters, enjoying maybe a beverage in the sunshine, watching Leyton Orient play. Derby 2, Birmingham 0. Worrell's up and he's okay, and play resumes. Here's Harold to Wilkinson. Wilkinson loses out, and it's a throw-in for Leyton Orient, taken quickly to Ling. 4.5 minutes gone of the second half on BBC Radio Stoke. Matt Sandoz and former Port Vale captain Phil Sproson in the commentary box for you this afternoon at Brisbane Road. Vale have played well in the first half and leading by 2-1. But really, this game is there for them to finish off Leyton Orient, and Gibbons just clears his touch by the corner flag out, clears the ball out into touch from by the corner flag with a wild swing of the right boot.
Well, that just lets James Gibbons down at time. He's done the right thing by letting it come across his body under no pressure. He's needlessly sliced the ball out for a throw-in on the halfway line. That just looks so poor. From at times that Gibbons looks as though he's a quality player at this level, and then he lets himself down with a silly decision like that.
Well, I don't know what some guys just come and shoved an iPhone in our faces for, Phil. I don't know, was it the attendance?
I think it was the attendance.
Did you catch hold of it? Because he didn't bother showing it for very long. Just want to see.
5,490 was 613 Vale fans.
That's a terrific effort. That's what I want to know, how many Vale supporters had made the trip down to Brisbane Road at the moment, just watching their team leading by 2-1. And they've just got a bit of defending to do here, Vale, as the ball is struck by Wilkinson from about 25 yards out from a central position. Body's being thrown at the shot, sees it's blocked. It's picked up by Marsh in a red shirt for the home side. And well, Leyton Orient have started this second half quite well, you have to say. 6 minutes gone, and they're the team that are knocking the ball around, and Vale just need to not rest on their laurels and think that this is job done and dusted.
Orient are having the best spell of the game at the moment. They are taking the game to the Vale. The Vale have just got to get a hold of it again, like they are doing now, actually.
Yeah, and stroking the ball around. Pope gets it, finds Worrell. Worrell clips the ball in for Amu. Chance here for Amu. Amu has scored. Oh, the flag's up on the far side as he just crept in behind the Leyton Orient defence. But nice touch. Nice goal. Good
work from the Vale. Lovely work on the halfway line there. Burgess involved heavily again, linking to get the ball out to Worrell. Worrell, deft little cross in the box, and Amu came in, but he just strayed beyond Coulson, the big centre-back. It's better from the Vale. But we haven't started well in the second half. Orient have started like they started the first 10 minutes in the first half.
Dean Brill, the goalkeeper for Leyton Orient, has it and drives the ball forward, chested by Harold. I'd say he's had quite an impact. He's been physical and got involved. There's a foul.
Yeah, good work from Taylor again. Picks the ball up from his centre-back Smith, drove into the Orient half and was dragged to the floor by the Josh Wright. A free kick to the Vale. Crooks will take it.
5 yards inside the Leyton Orient half, just a yard or so outside of the centre circle. Edge Gibbons just rushes across and takes quickly for Crooks. Crooks now with a bit of space puts in a delivery towards the back post. Out comes the goalkeeper. That's a good catch for him under a group of players, and he quickly releases the ball upfield looking for Louis Dennis. Dennis tries to get past two Vale players, one of which is Gibbons, the other Worrell, and the two Vale players combine to get the ball back to Scott Brown. Pope takes a bash to the back as he heads that ball on Coulson, the culprit, but the referee says no free kick. And Vale watch the ball go out for a throw-in down by their corner flag, and Leyton Orient will shift up the pitch to try and pen them in here. 8 minutes gone of the second half. Derby 2, Birmingham City 1.
I think that Orient are trying to impose themselves on this game. They certainly started bright the second half, but haven't really caused Vale any serious threat at the moment. Vale surrendered a little bit of space in midfield, and certainly pegging back. We're a little bit deep for me to Leon Legg and Nathan Smith probably dropped a bit too deep. Need to get them out, get closer to our midfield.
This is John Askey's 30th match in charge of the Vale. Up until now he's won 9, drawn 12, lost 8. Not a bad record for a team that was in disarray when he arrived. Here comes Gibbons now, crossing the halfway line, cuts inside. Ball just takes a touch off the heels of Dan Happy, and it goes away from Gibbons. And Leyton Orient then in their own attack give the ball back to Vale. And Joyce has it on the halfway line, out to the right for Worrell. Worrell just plants the ball down the far touchline. A move kicked off the ground and into touch, but no free kick, says the referee, as the linesman flags. Oh, it is a free kick. Linesman's flagging for a free kick, which is taken quickly by Worrell for Amu into the penalty area. Amu quickly picks himself up, gets the shot away. Pope's lurking, cleared away by Coulson. Will that run out for a corner? It has done. The Vale's 7th corner of the match. Good thinking by David Worrell.
It was. Quick free kick. Found David Amu inside the penalty box. Good little turn by Amu. Shot is just blocked by Coulson again. He's been a rock for them at the back. It's a good job for Orient that he's actually playing, because they are still at 6s and 7s when they have to defend Orient. It has to be said.
Worrell with an outswinger on the Vale right. This one's deep. Amu's free at the far post, heads it down and scrambled to get it away. I think Amu should have gone for goal. He headed back across. I think he probably was going for goal. Just a poor header. Yeah,
poor header. I mean, Worrell, lovely free kick. Corner to the far post. David Amu 6 yards out, just left of the 6-yard box. Absolutely free header. And, headed it back across goal, but nobody following in for the Vale. Good chance.
Here come Leyton Orient down the other end. Deep cross. James Gibbons underneath it. Heads it out behind for a Leyton Orient corner now. Starting to be a little end to end this game. Vale really shouldn't be allowing Leyton Orient back in this game.
They shouldn't really. They're allowing them to get back into the game and giving them hope that there's an opportunity here for them. And not really pressing home the advantage, the clear advantage what the Vale have got. But
in it comes, an in-swinger. That's over the head of Taylor, and it was a free header by Happy on his 21st birthday, and he's put it over the crossbar.
Well, I don't know who was marking him. A free header. 12 yards out, right in front of the goal, and heads it over Scott Brown. That's a let-off.
Well, Leyton Orient are just making another change. On comes James Brophy, and off comes Craig Clay.
Well, I hope this doesn't descend into us hanging on here, because there's no need for us to hang on. Just get grip of the ball again, start pushing it around, and take the game to Orient.
Amu heads it infield to Pope, who turns and shoots. Not a bad effort. It was on target, but an easy one for Brill to gather straight towards him. Bounced a couple of times to him on the 6-yard line, and Leyton Orient will get it clear. This is the last thing that we needed to see, considering the first half we were feeling just how comfortable the Vale were and in charge of the game. They seem to be at 2-1, and I think maybe a third goal would really kill off Leyton Orient, but they've come out of the traps much the quicker of the two sides. Ball into the box by the home side. Worrell gathers it, then goes down, appeals for handball by the home supporters. No chance of that from here. It looked like it hit his chest, but Leyton Orient still inside the Vale penalty area. Gibbons now intercepts, gets it away. He finds Burgess out to the left to Amu. Now what can Vale do here? They've got bodies coming forward. Amu going all on his own, decides to pull the trigger, shoots, and the goalkeeper again deals with it well, and will get it clear. Derby 2, Birmingham City 2. Vale leading by 2-1 here on BBC Radio Stoke, although have been a little nervy in this second half. Leyton Orient going for broke.
Well, David Amu, good run down this left-hand side. Actually, I thought he would have taken it a little bit further.
Harold to right. Taylor with the foul. Right just showed quick feet to get away from him. Free kick for Port Vale, for Leyton Orient, about it's midway inside the Port Vale half, but maybe 10 yards in from this near touchline. Leyton Orient fans, you can hear starting to feel more enthused about their team's performance in this second half, and Vale have just got to ride this out and start asking one or two questions of their own. Right with the delivery, and it comes towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by the Vale defence, picked up by Marsh now. He puts the ball back and high from where it came from. Underneath it is Crooks, he heads it down, but only as far as the red shirt, and it's in the back of the net from Connor Wilkinson, curling the ball in from the edge of the D with his left foot. You can't say it wasn't coming for the home side. Vale need to really buck up their ideas in this second half, because Leyton Orient are back on level terms. It's Leyton Orient 2, Port Vale 2.
Well, you have to say that was coming from Orient. They've knocked at the door, and Vale have allowed them to. Poor header from Adam Crooks. He's headed it down into the danger area, although it was 20 yards out in the middle of the goal. It fell to the wrong person. We didn't want it falling to Wilkinson, who's been probably the best striker for them, on his left foot, and curled it past Scott Brown, who couldn't get a hand to it. But Adam really, he got a head at angles there and head it out wide, not head it down the middle of your throat, your goal.
Yeah, it's a good finish by Connor Wilkinson. He just saw a little bit of space into that top right-hand corner of Scott Brown's goal, and Scott Brown diving helplessly to his right, couldn't do much about it. So now we've got game back on here, but what you've got to hope is that Vale don't just start to crumble with this Leyton Orient pressure, because their tails will certainly be up now. Exeter nil, Grimsby Town 2. Just looks like at the moment, you look at the Vale team, they're just like they've had the wind taken out of their sails a little bit.
Well, it needs a more experienced header, man. I know you've got Leg in there at the back, but it just needs somebody to get the grips of the ball a little bit more. Or we've got to change how we've got to stretch those a little bit, because clearly we're a bit still one-dimensional the way we're playing. Is that we're trying to play it through midfield, and we've got Pope up front. Maybe it's time for a change.
Salford nil, Forest Green Rovers 4. Another free kick for Leyton Orient here on the angle of the Vale penalty area. It's taken quickly, and here comes Brophy, edge of the penalty area now, looking to pull the trigger with his left foot. Urges his teammates to come on. Ling eventually joins him, and then Ling gives it away. Ling was lingering too much inside the Vale half and not making a run for Brophy, and he was trying to encourage him to turn further up the field. Here's the goal scorer of the equaliser, Wilkinson. He goes down, no free kick. Burgess moves it out to the right for the Vale, and Gibbons is trying to get into some space on the far side. Nobody in front of him as he goes down under the challenge, and Leyton Orient have got the ball back. But you can hear the crowd here, and how this game has turned around from 2-1 down to 2-2, and the crowd perhaps now think that it's their turn, that they could go on and win this match, because we've seen two different Port Vale sides this afternoon.
Well, Gibbons got to get closer there. Don't allow the cross to come in.
In comes the cross. Leg gets it away. Only as far as right. Right forced back towards the centre circle. And then Coulson moves it across to Happy. He finds Marsh inside the centre circle again. To Coulson. To right. Leyton Orient have got a bit of confidence, a bit of swagger about them. Ball over the top, in behind a move goes Ling into the penalty area, drives the ball across the 6-yard box towards the penalty spot, and there was Harold, who just had the ball taken away from him, and it goes out for a throw-in on this near side.
Yeah, good work from Leon Legg, covering Adam Crooks and David Amu. And David Amu and Adam Crooks in a heated debate down there.
Well, I'm sure John Askey will be pretty heated as well down below us as we watch Ling prepare to take a throw in level with the edge of the Port Vale penalty area. In it comes, it's a long one. Amu gets it away, back in by Leyton Orient, drops down for Wilkinson. He's trying to get that shot away again. He's still with it. He's still got the ball. 4 or 5 around him. He's still got it, Wilkinson. He goes down in the penalty area. Referee looks at it, and does he point for a goal kick as he squares up to James Gibbons, and there's a fracas. It's all getting a little heated down over on the far side. Plenty of players getting involved. Now David Worrell's getting pushed around by Happy. The referee taking a long, hard look at this, and players were being pushed towards the advertising hoardings. James Gibbons getting a real push from Wilkinson. Well, the referee's going to have to act here.
Yeah, Gibbons has gone across with the 9 Wilkinson, who's a handful, and blocked him well in that corner, but Wilkinson's gone down feigning the penalty, and obviously Gibbons is very unhappy with him and let him know. And Wilkinson has got up and I'm having strong words with each other, but I would imagine that they'll probably both get booked for this.
Well, from what I saw, and I don't know how you saw it, when Wilkinson went down, it looked like he tripped over fresh air, and it looked like he was looking for a penalty, and I can think that's why James Gibbons, as you said, took exception to it, but definitely not a penalty.
No, it definitely wasn't a penalty. I mean, Gibbons is just probably infuriated that he went to the floor, so he's in tried to cheat, and probably called him that, a word to that effect, and obviously the players reacted.
Both players getting a yellow card. Connor Wilkinson seen yellow and James Gibbons seen yellow. The referee's been quite lenient with his notebook today and his yellow card. Maybe one or two he could have dished out a bit earlier, but didn't, and has done now, 2 in 1 go.
I think John Astley's got to make a change. I'd take Tom Pope off, and I'd look to bring Jordan Archer on or Bennett to try and stretch these and give these a different problem, because at the moment they're way on top and we've got no outlet up there. We've only got Tom Pope to hit as a target. We've got to try and get into the grass behind them, and those two, Bennett or Archer, could get on and deliver that.
Aston Villa 1, Burnley 1, Wolves 2, Watford 0, Ipswich 3, Tranmere Rovers 1. Brown will take a goal kick here, and John Astley and Dave Kevin still in deep conversation down below us inside the technical area. Pope flicks the goal kick on with his head, but it runs straight through to the goalkeeper Brill, and Pope's not happy about something as the ball is bowled out to Widdowson on the far side. This game really has come alive in the second half, not for the better from a Port Vale perspective either, as it's 2-2 on BBC Radio Stoke.
Well, they've certainly been the better side this second half, without any question.
Is Wilkinson to Marsh, lip of the centre circle inside the Vale half in a central position, to right out to Ling, fullback, who's in an advanced position. And Vale have won it back. Have a challenge on Taylor down below us from Louis Dennis, who put in a sliding challenge to try and win the ball. I don't think there's anything malicious about it, just caught Taylor.
Late challenge on Taylor. It's caught him across his ankle.
And the yellow card for Dennis. And the referee now starting to get a little bit more disciplined in the game. Peterborough 3, Wimbledon 1. Any movement on the Vale bench looking down below? Doesn't seem any just yet.
Well, they're all warming up to our left across that far side, the Vale subs, but I don't think it'll be long before either one of those strikers is going to come on. We need to do something slightly different. I mean, it's no reflection on how Pope's played, but we've got to have a certain different sort of outlet up there.
Gibbons finds Pope, back to goal. Now Burgess to Worrell, level with the edge of the penalty area, puts in a cross. Coulson heads it away. The Leyton Orient captain. Here's Taylor to Pope, plays a 1-2 in between touchline and penalty area, still with the ball at his feet. Taylor, can he find the cross? He digs something out, but there's a header away by the Leyton Orient defence, but only as far as Burgess. Back out to Worrell on the right. He drives in a cross, and that's gone straight to Brill, and he gathers the ball and will clear for Leyton Orient. 2-2 on BBC Radio Stoke.
That's better play from the Vale though, down that left hand side. Taylor on the ball, twisting and turning, get crosses in. Got Worrell away down the right hand side.
Harrell battling with Smith, and a safe header back from Crooks to Brown just calms things down for a moment. 2-2 with 22 minutes gone of this second half. Brown off the deck, long down the centre. Pope trying to hold off Coulson. Coulson wins the header, drops down for Joyce. Joyce on the ground now to Amu, to Crooks. Crooks just tries to slide it back down the touchline for Amu, who just trying to spin off his man, out for a throw, which Crooks takes quickly to Pope. Pope on the angle of the penalty area, puts in a cross, nobody there.
For a bad selection from Tom there. He's got to look up. He's got Taylor in front of him. He's got Burgess, and he decides to cross it and try and get Worrell in, who's 5'1" against a 6'4" Hap central defender.
And here comes Leyton Orient down the other end into the penalty area. Flags up on this near side, and Vale Vale just skate on thin ice once more as Dennis was in, but the flag up very quickly, fortunately.
Yeah, they were holding a good line there. They held a good line on the 18-yard. The ball was always going to go in, and the substitute down this right-hand side got in the far advanced of Crooks, who generally 3-4 yards offside.
Exeter 0, Grimsby 3. High ball for the Vale, easy header away by Widdowson. Joyce puts in a diving header to prevent it going past the halfway line, and in doing so concedes a throw, which Widdowson takes quickly up towards Harold, who flicks it on for Dennis. Crew are down to 10 men at Cheltenham. Perry and G shown red, so 1-1, but with 10 men the Alex, so a difficult rest of the second half ahead of David Artell's side. Amu heads the ball on, chases his own clearance in towards the Leyton Orient half. Brill, though, there for the safety of the Leyton Orient defence, just starts to walk the ball out of his penalty area, the goalkeeper. And we're going to see another Leyton Orient change here as the ball is flicked on by the home side. Joyce back to Brown, bit of a risky ball back, that very flat and centrally for Scott Brown, the ball bobbling up and down for him as he has to clear into touch for a throw-in. And the change we're going to see is Dennis off and Jordan Maguire-Drew coming on.
Orient rolling the dice now, trying to go for the win. They've certainly been the better side, or most optimistic side this second half. Vale have hardly a shadow of the side of the first half.
Very odd.
It's really surprising to see how different we actually are this half compared to where we finished the half.
That's right.
Half.
Yourself, Mike Baggers and I were chatting at half-time about how well the Vale have been playing in the first half, and I'm sure our conversation at this rate, as things are going, will be very different at the full-time whistle.
I'm sure the Vale fans across that side will be wondering what's gone on, what's been put in the tea at half-time, because I can't tell you what a difference two halves make.
Yeah. Leyton Orient look down and out the break, but now they're back 2-2 and coming forward here, looking to make it 3-2. Harold into the penalty area. Leon Legg steps across him and clears the ball. Gibbons picks it up, back to Legg with a clearance high, but that drift into touch it has. Tom Pope raced across to the far side towards the Vale fan to try and do his bit, but ball out for a throw-in. Leyton Orient fans are the ones you can hear at the moment. 2-2 on BBC Radio. Stoke, Ipswich 4, Tranmere Rovers 1, Morecambe 1, Northampton 2, as the ball is hit long by Vale. And Vale just can't get out of their own half at the moment, and perhaps that is why.
Well, we've only got one outlet. I mean, Tom's obviously screaming there to somebody to join him, because we're just trying to pump the ball forward up to him, but you know, it's coming back to us as fast as it's going. So for me, something's got to change. It's got to do something.
Richie Bennett's just come back and unzipped his tracksuit top, so it looks like he's going to come on shortly as Crooks clears the danger up towards the halfway line and move a little slow to react. Should have perhaps read the sign that the fullback was going to get there and clear, and dropped in front of his man, but it's cleared, and then there's Crooks again, blocked by Harold, and out for a Vale throw on this near side. Preston North End 3, Bristol 3, and Richie Bennett is going to come on, and I wonder who will come on forward. Do you think it'd be a straight like for like Pope off?
I might, yeah, I would probably say so.
Here's Joyce inside the Vale half, back to Leon Legg on the edge of his D, inside Scott Brown's penalty area. Out to the right touchline in front of the Vale supporters is Gibbons. Gibbons plays the ball forward to Worrell, who goes down under the challenge from Widdowson and wins his side a free kick right on the halfway line, and we might see the change now. And we will, and it is Tom Pope that goes off, and he takes the captain's armband off and gives it to
Nathan Smith.
Oh no, he's giving it to Taylor, who's passing it on to Leon Legg. Derby 3, Birmingham City 2, Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2. And what will the message be from Maskey to Richie Bennett at this stage of the game?
Well, I think what Richie Bennett gives you is height and strength, but more importantly, he's got legs to get down those channels, and I think it'll be a different option for Vale's midfield and at the back to trying to exploit and get Orient turning across their back four and give us some space in midfield so we can get out. It's coming back far too easy for us. Free
kick from Worrell is cleared easily by Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient now break down the Vale left. It's Brophy comes inside, still on his left foot. Is it opening up for him? It doesn't. So he picks out Maguire Drew, who crosses the ball in towards the Vale penalty. Scott Brown right off his line, barking at his defence, saying, "Get out, move up the pitch."
He has. I mean, it's a natural defence for a defender. You think you're safe when you drop deeper. You're not. You're inviting pressure. You've got to get out.
Ball with the Leyton Orient goalkeeper now. Vale going from right to left as we look at it from the second half. You can hear Phil Sproson telling Leon Legg to hold on to that ball. He takes it on the chest, but not a great touch from Leon Legg, so has to hurriedly cleared as he's under pressure. There's Amu to Taylor, to Crooks. First time ball forward, cleared by Leyton Orient, picked up by Taylor, who just tries to feed it in for the substitute Bennett into space, but Leyton Orient read the danger and away they go. Harold now in trying to get in behind Worrell. Widdowson comes out, Brown comes and gathers the ball. Well, I think Brown lost the ball for a moment. He thought it had gone behind him, then he realised it was in between his legs and quickly grabbed it.
Oh, he got away with that one. He's come out of the difficult one for Dave Worrell. He knew his keeper was coming, and Scott Brown came out, wasn't totally convincing, came out to his feet and just about scrambled it together with his legs and then dived on it. It's a bit scrappy.
There's a stat about draws between these two sides, and I'm going to try and find it for you in just a moment as we watch Leyton Orient drive the ball forward, but Leon Legg intercepts. As now Worrell has it with some support from Gibbons on the right touchline, midway inside the Leyton Orient half. He's coming in field, he's on his left foot, he pulls the trigger, he shoots, and that one's way high and over and wide into the back of the stand for a goal kick.
That is awful. That is absolutely awful from Gibbons. He's picked the ball. I mean, Worrell's played him in across that right-hand side. He's got it and he's taken it in. His selection there, he's got to do far better than that. I mean, he's got three options on. One is Richie Bennett, and he's gone for a Hollywood shot, and it's gone. I think it's hit one of those flats.
I think it has. Leon Legg with a towering header at the back, ball really high as it drops down for Bennett, who looked like he was pulled to the ground, but no free kicks of the referee. So Marsh mops up and finds his goalkeeper. Bennett continued the run and closed down Brill as he cleared. Leon Legg puts it back in towards the Leyton Orient half, and then Happy clears forward down the Vale right. Leon Legg has to put it into touch for a Orient throw-in.
That's all that Legg could do there. Ball pumped over Gibbons' head, and he's the covering central defender. Can't take any chance. He just pushes it out for a throw-in right in front of the Vale fans.
Aston Villa 2, Burnley 1. Leyton Orient take the throw. Harold to Widdowson on that far touchline in front of the Vale supporters. 2-2 the score on BBC Radio Stoke. We're into the last 15 of the second half here at Brisbane Road. As Marsh has it, chips the ball forward, looking for Harold, headed away by Gibbons, picked up by Worrell. Worrell up to Bennett, who chests it down and does well, finds Burgess. Now Vale have got three bodies going forward here. If Burgess can pick out Taylor, who'd made a run ahead of him, tries just to check and come inside. Still got it here, Burgess, to Taylor on the edge of the penalty area. He's onto his right foot, he shoots, it just dragged across the 6-yard box. Bennett was a little late to the party, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
That's the best bit of play that the Vale have had this half. Good work from Burgess again, who's been a little bit quiet in the second half. The game's just passed him by a bit, but a good bit of magic from him. Found Jake Taylor on the edge of the box. Good feet from Taylor, got free. Right foot shot, but never really going to trouble the keeper, Brill.
Here's the stat. None of the last 26 encounters between Leyton Orient and Port Vale in the Football League have ended in a draw. Leyton Orient winning 12 and Port Vale 14. That's a run stretching back to December 1948. However, this is still 25 games behind the longest such run in a single Football League fixture. Aston Villa and Preston, they got 51 games without a draw between them. That's between 1989 and January 1923. So one of those useless bits of information as Leon Legg has the ball at his feet and he's under pressure from Harold. Goes back to Scott Brown. The Leyton Orient crowd appreciate Harold's tenacity in chasing down the Port Vale centre-back. Leyton Orient clear as Brown's long ball in towards their own half. Comes back towards the Vale, but there's a foul, then it's a free kick to Port Vale. Villa 2, Burnley 2. Chris Wood with an equaliser for Burnley.
Joyce was manfully trying to hold that anchor roll in midfield.
Gibbons with a free kick, and it's gone straight over Bennett and out for a goal kick. He's not having a good afternoon, is he?
What is that? 2-2 away from home, a free kick for us, and he tries to hit a ball down the channel to Bennett, massively overhit it. Even Bennett with his pace can't reach it, and we've given them a goal kick. What is he doing?
Is he just sometimes a little bit rash and a little bit...
I think it was with James. I think he's such a wholehearted player and gives 100% every time he pulls a Vale shirt on. I've got no qualms about that at all. But sometimes his distribution and his decisions, you know, he's got to, if he wants to continue and get better and better, he's got to be more precise in what he's actually doing. I mean, he fell asleep for the goal, let his man come off him for the header, but his passing this afternoon has been erratic, to say the least.
Well, Vale have got a free kick, and the ball is played forward, and Bennett flicks on a header from Scott Brown's long ball forward, and the goalkeeper Brill had to make a save. And well, there's just over 10 minutes remaining here. 2-2. Vale last won here in April 1994. Martin Foyle scored a hat-trick in a 3-2 win. Will 3-2 be the scoreline today as Vale go forward looking for that 3-2 scoreline? It's 2-2 at the moment. Don't forget praise and grumble on the full-time whistle as well. 0800 121 80 80. Good play by Harold, holding up, but then needed some support from a red shirt. Didn't get it, and Taylor gets it away, and he's being pulled around and he's fouled. Surely that's a free kick.
Got to be a free kick.
Got to be a free kick from Josh Wright, but referee says no, and Leyton Orient come forward, but intercepted by Gibbons. Now, what can Gibbons do here? Bennett was the target. He let it run. Amu wasn't behind the play, and Leyton Orient have easy possession. Leyton Orient looked possessed compared to what they were like in the first half. They were awful in the first half, but they've been the better side in the second half. Here's Brophy taking on Amu in Crooks, still with Brophy. Brophy to Harold, the other substitute at half-time. Harold now to Maguire-Drew, the three substitutes linking up, but Gibbons winning the ball back, and then has the ball, has the ball taken off him. Vale can't get out their own half here at the moment, Phil.
Well, we're giving it away so cheaply. It's you know, surprising how badly we are actually playing.
Leon Legg with a header. Burgess brings it under control, but not neatly. Eventually brings it down to Gibbons.
We found each other.
Gibbons to Joyce. Joyce with the ball forward to Amu. Good touch by Amu, but then his second touch taken away from him by Coulson, who's probably been their best player, you'd have to say, Coulson.
Well, definitely. I mean, he's certainly held the two young central defenders together first half, and he's carried it on the second half. But they look a completely different side. It looks as though they've been injected confidence, and Vale look at something in the tea at half-time. I mean, I'm sure somebody's put something in that Vale dressing room.
Yeah, some sort of sedative or something, because they've come out very relaxed and slow and languid. They've got a throw in here, though, about 20 yards out from the Leyton Orient goal.
You know, we've gone from a position being totally in control of the game back end of the first half to being looking as though we're hanging on for a point.
Nice football that by the Vale down here. Best bit of football for a good spell of what we've seen. Taylor looks up, good ball in towards the back post. Worrell's there. Worrell couldn't quite direct it towards goal. Well, that was a wonderful cross by Jake Taylor, whipped in with accuracy and pace, and just unfortunately Worrell unable to steer it towards goal. 2-2.
Yeah, a good bit of play down this quarter, right down in front of us. Amu, Crooks, and then Taylor with a delightful right foot cross to the far post, caught everybody out, and Worrell just couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Good challenge by Smith in the air, beats Harold, but Bennett couldn't get the second ball. Leyton Orient got it back. They do look possessed. They are everywhere at the moment, the red shirts, the home side, but Brophy just runs the ball out in front of the Leyton Orient technical area. Ross Embleton down below, just encouraging his players as Crooks takes the throw. Looks for Bennett. Bennett unable to get a touch, but it does fall for Burgess. Good challenge by Joyce. You could hear that tackle, but it's fallen neatly and nicely for Leyton Orient. And here's an opportunity for the home side to go 3-2 in front, but the cross is blocked and lend Vale come forward. Gibbons racing over the halfway line. He's pulled back by Marsh, and it's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Gibbons did well there. Raced out of his own half. What he actually does well is Gibbons, he charges forward with the ball and invites a challenge, and 8 times out of 10 he gets a free kick for his endeavour, and he has done that. He just needs to take the for me, James Gibbons just needs to take off the anxiety part of his game when the ball's in possession. His pass selection has got to be better.
6 to go, plus time added on, and a free kick for Vale a couple of yards inside the Leyton Orient half, which is taken by Joyce, and I don't know what that was, because I don't think Burgess was ready for it, but they've got away with it, the Vale. Cross comes in from the right from Worrell, Smith's underneath it, but then so is Harold of Leyton Orient. Looks like there's a little bit of hand holding on going on in there as Taylor takes a shot. What a goal by Jake Taylor, cutting in on the right hand side and swings the ball in to the top left hand corner, and Jake Taylor runs over to the Vale supporters to celebrate, because he might have just got Vale out of jail with 5 minutes to go. Are they on course for that rare away league win? It's Leyton Orient 2, Port Vale 3.
Well, you won't. I mean, I nearly jumped. That's careful. I nearly jumped off the gantry here. I mean, what a strike! I mean, Bennett did well in that bottom corner, battled, and the ball fell to Jake Taylor right on the angle, 18 yards out. He's got it out of his feet. He's looked up and he's curled it with his right foot, wrapped his foot round it, right in the angle. Keeper no chance. What a strike from the Notts Forest youngster. Superb goal from Jake Taylor.
Well, the Vale fans haven't had an awful lot to sing about in the second half. They've been anxiously looking on, thinking that the game had gone from them, and they were maybe lucky to hold on for 2-2, but they're 3-2 up, and there's a shot coming in here from Leyton Orient's number 16 Brophy. It's taken a touch from Joyce and out for a corner, their third of the match, but Vale just got to see this game out.
Well, they have. I mean, they've been second best this half, and absolutely fantastic strike by Jake Taylor's pulled them back in the lead, but now just got to see the game out, because Orient will be throwing the kitchen sink at them now.
We've seen 2 great goals, one from Wilkinson and one from Taylor as well. In comes the corner from Orient towards the back posts, and Happy is there to head it over. It was always going to be difficult for him around a group of players all challenging for it. He couldn't direct it, and Scott Brown will take a goal kick. But Jake Taylor, what a strike that is for his second goal of the season.
Well, you won't see a better strike all season for technique anyway. I mean, it wasn't just hit with venom. It was his intent was he got it. He knew what he was going to do with it, and he's wrapped it round the top corner. Lovely strike. A quality youngster.
Brown with the goal kick. We have got 3.5 minutes remaining here of normal time, and Vale lead by 3 goals to 2. And Vale fans, you can hear in the distance, enjoying their afternoon now. It's got a little bit better for them in this second half.
Oh, it has, yeah. I mean, I'm sure the Vale fans are wondering what the hell's been going on the second half, but it takes one goal like that to change the mood.
I mentioned the last win here in 1994 was a 3-2 win, Martin Ford hat-trick. Well, we're on for 3-2 now. Leyton Orient in possession inside their own half. Coulson midway inside Leyton Orient territory, clears a high ball forward looking for Harold, beaten in the air by Leon Legg. David Worrell picks up the spare ball now in towards the centre circle. He goes to Amu still inside the Vale half to Taylor first time ball out to the left to Worrell. Worrell's second touch just let him down, and it went out for a throw-in, but good vision by Jake Taylor again. He's starting to enjoy himself in his last 5 minutes or so. He's had a good game today, actually.
Yeah, he's carried on from Tuesday night. I mean, him and Burgess ran the show on Tuesday night, and this afternoon again he's caught the eye, especially the first half. His range of passing is excellent. Vale make another change now.
Lloyd is coming on. Ryan Lloyd for David Amu. David Amu, pretty quiet today.
Yeah,
not made much of an impact. Really.
Early on in the first half, showed signs of getting in behind Orient, but has done nothing this half. The second half, he's been poor from what he can do.
Throw in taken by Leyton Orient inside their own half, and I think it's come off a red shirt, and Adam Crooks will gather the ball to take a throw for the Vale right on the tee of the halfway line in front of both technical areas. Chelsea 2, Brighton 0, the full-time score. Vale trying to push their way up the pitch. We've seen late goals from the Vale lately. It's another example today of that the Vale just keep going and keep going. John Askey will be pleased about that element. He won't be pleased about the way that they've been second best in this second half, I'm sure.
Oh no, I mean, clearly, Orient have had a better half than us by far, and certainly pegged us back and been at times a better side than us second half, but we've held on, and a real bit of quality has got us back in front again.
Smith wins the ball. Lloyd's there to try and get it clear, but it's blocked by Ling, and Crooks now has to bail out Lloyd and put it out for a throw. 5 or 6 yards from the corner flag on this near side. 3-2 the Vale lead. Crystal Palace 2, Norwich 0 is a latest score as Ling prepares to take a long throw. Vale have just got to see this out. Last 30 seconds of normal time. In comes the throw, headed away by Smith, only as far as Ling again. He just took the throw. He puts it back in first time. Overhead kick is attempted inside the penalty area. Vale trying to get it away. Looked like a handball by Widdowson. There was a handball, and the referee blows his whistle, and it's a free kick on the edge of the D outside Scott Brown's penalty area. Coventry 1, Doncaster Rovers 1, and time is running out. 6 minutes of time is being added on, says the fourth official. I'm not quite sure where he's got 6. I know we've had a couple of substitutes, but 6 minutes, Phil Sproson?
Oh, he's got that mixed up, sure. 6 minutes, I can't remember where he got 6 minutes from. 3 minutes, how's he got that?
I could probably say, 3 tops.
3, I would say 3. But 6 minutes?
6. I do not know where he's got 6 minutes from. Well, we are into one of those 6 now. Vale leading by 3 goals to 2 on BBC Radio Stoke Sport. Matt Sandoz and Phil Sproson, your commentary team here at Brisbane Road. Don't forget Praise and Grumble. 0800 121 80 80 is the number to call. Joyce with a powerful header out. No nonsense header from the midfielder who puts it into touch for a Leyton Orient throw. Right in front of John Askey down below us. Throw in taken. Headed in field by Taylor, who can only find Maguire Drew of Leyton Orient. His crossfield ball, is it kept in over on the far side by Harold? It isn't. Oh, it might have been Brophy actually. Instead it's a throw in.
It's a throw to Vale.
To the Vale.
Yeah, right in front of the Vale fans in that bottom corner. I'm sure the Vale fans will be sucking it into them and trying to waste a bit more time.
Gibbons in front of those Vale supporters who will be going back up to the Potteries or wherever else they may have travelled from to come and watch their team this afternoon. Happy if they can hold on to this 3-2 lead. We've had a minute and a half of the 6 that have been added on for added time, and no idea where 6 has come from. But Leyton Orient on the attack here. Harold has gone down, wants a free kick. Referee says play on as Maguire Drew has it. He finds Brophy. Brophy attacking the byline, cuts it back. Worrell sticks a leg out, and the ball doesn't go behind for a corner. The referee was about to whistle, but he looks across at his linesman whose flag stayed down, and Vale scramble it away. 3-2, and we've got under 4 minutes of the 6 remaining.
You've got to see this out. Don't surrender the space. Keep pushed up. Leg and Smith, keep them pushed out. Don't drop off to the edge of your box.
Coulson to Happy. Happy with a high ball forward. Leg with a header away. Only as far as Maguire Drew. Maguire Drew holding off the challenger Joyce. Puts in the cross. Chance here for a header. And it's gone in. A goal in added time from Leyton Orient. And it's Josh Wright who scored in the 4th minute of the match. Who scored in the 3rd minute of time added on. He runs to his bench where they all all celebrate. Leyton Orient fans are up on their feet, and it seems now that Vale are going to go back to the Potteries with a point. Leyton Orient 3, Port Vale 3.
Well, they've kept going and going. As said about dropping deep into the edge of the box, the ball's come into the box. Leon Legg has headed it from his own penalty spot out. What is Scott Brown doing? There was nobody near Leon Legg, and that's why I screamed in commentary just to let it run. You've got to have a shout from your keeper, let it come, because there's nobody around him. Scott Brown, you're at fault.
Well, 3-3, 6 goals this afternoon, and Josh Wright with 2 headers. And well, the Vale fans starting to leave the ground over on the far side.
That's so disappointing. We've got to crawl ourselves back into the front,
foul inside the Leyton Orient half on Marsh. Free kick for the home side, and I think they'll be more than happy with a point this afternoon. Vale the better in the first half, certainly the second best in the second half. Wonderful goal by Wilkinson to make it 2-2, then a terrific strike by Taylor to make it 3-2 to the Vale, and then time added on. It's equaliser by Wright to make it 3-3. But still a little bit of time remaining here, a minute and a half to go as there's a ball over the top for Bennett to chase. He's not going to give up on this as the ball's back to Brill, who clears as far as Burgess on the halfway line. His touch out to Lloyd. Lloyd helps it along to Worrell. Is there another late chance for the Vale here as we approach the last minute of time added on? Worrell gets towards the byline, and I thought he'd won a corner there. It hasn't. It's a goal kick. So just over 60 seconds remaining, and will Leyton Orient fancy perhaps that there's a winner for them here as they start to push forward? Vale drifting and dropping back. Brophy all on his own, taken out by Gibbons, who's on a yellow card, but referee waves play on. Here's Maguire Drew. Here's now Wilkinson with a chance, and Brown saved it. Has to get down to his right. Wilkinson shooting from about 25 yards out. Brown has to parry it out for a corner. This game's certainly not over yet. We're into the last 30 seconds, and Leyton Orient fancy they could go on and win this.
We're hanging on. We literally are hanging on. We're on the ropes. Just defend this corner now, boys.
In comes the corner, in swinger, up goes their heads. It's along the 6-yard box, and Leon Legg's down on the ground, and it gets caught up in his legs as Harrell tries to pull the shot in towards goal. Out comes Brown, punches it clear as a cross comes back in. Pressure here from Leyton Orient late on. Marsh has picked it up for Leyton Orient, and his 4 forwards will find Crooks, who will get it clear. And we have got 4 seconds of the time added on remaining. The referee has a look at his watch, and well, certainly not over just yet. Now the whistle goes to his lips, and that is the full-time whistle. It has finished. Leyton Orient 3, Port Vale 3. The Leyton Orient players fall down in just a sheer exhaustion, I think, about how on earth they've got themselves a point today, because at the end of the first half you'd have to say that Vale looked like they were going to coast to victory, but they did not coast. It was rough waters for them in the second half, and Vale fans are out on their feet as well. But the Vale players are out on their feet. Vale fans are up on the far side applauding their team. But Phil Sprouse, you have to say it really was a game of 2 halves, this one.
Oh, if there ever was a game of 2 halves, this was it. I mean, totally dominated the first half. Got in.